Hey there, how's it going? Before we get started with today's episode, in case you missed it on all of our social media platforms, we are now officially on Discord now. That's right. In case you don't know what Discord is, basically it's a community for mainly gamers and live streamers, although our good friends in First to 11 are on it. Halocene is on it, the works. So some musicians are on there as well, but it's for gamers and live streamers. And we have been live streaming a lot lately, and we will continue to host watch parties for the time being. So you know what? We figured, why not give it a shot? So here's what you need to do. Click the link down below in the description section, both on YouTube and on audio platforms, and go join our Discord server. Please, you are not going to regret this decision. Trust me. Austin's the one who made it. It was a smart idea. And actually, one of the fans on our live stream suggested that we make a Discord. So Austin took the liberty of doing it for us. So thank you, Austin, for that. Seriously. So go join our Discord server. Again, link is down below in the description. You are not going to regret this. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. Oh, what's going on? Welcome to the Bottom Line Podcast, your home for sports and entertainment talk. I'm Jimmy Finizzi. I hope that you're doing well. As always, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to take a listen. Much appreciated. Be sure to hit us up on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at BottomLineWMCX. Be sure to follow us as well, and don't forget to use hashtag BottomLine. Also, real quick before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new to this podcast. Hit that bell so you don't miss an episode on YouTube, and subscribe on all audio platforms, include Jimmy when searching for this podcast. All right, so if you are watching on YouTube, you can only see the Bottom Line logo again. Unfortunately, my webcam is once again experiencing some technical difficulties, so I do apologize about that. It's probably going to be like that for the next 1 or 2 episodes until I can get this problem resolved. So please bear with me for the time being, but hopefully the audio sounds good at least. But anyway, boy oh boy, do I have some thoughts for these next couple of episodes. But for this episode in particular today, they are the more relevant story. Today, we are going to be talking about the Brooklyn Next. Brooklyn, stand down. Their season is over. They got swept by the Boston Celtics, a Boston Celtics team who many people thought would be the last team in the NBA to compete for an NBA championship. Now, all of a sudden, they advance to the second round. You gotta give the Boston Celtics credit, man. I mean, Marcus Smart, potential defensive player of the year. I mean, that man is a monster. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, we all know how lethal they are. I mean, you got to give everybody on Boston credit. Their coaching staff has done a hell of a job. Everybody has been gelling together, as Kyrie said in a post-game press conference about, I want to say a few days ago, when everybody was trying to gel together. I'll get more on Kyrie and the Nets in a little bit, but I want to give Boston some love. And I'm a New York fan. I hate Boston teams, although I do love the city. The city is absolutely gorgeous, but that's another story for another day. But you got to give the Celtics a lot of credit. They are shutting a lot of people up. They made it to the second round, and as of now, they have a legitimate shot to go to the NBA Finals. If they keep up this level of play, now I'm not saying they're going to continue to sweep everybody out of the playoffs, because that's obviously very, very tough to do. But in my opinion, the Celtics are a dark horse to go to the NBA Finals. And if they do, boy oh boy, then what's everybody going to think? But congrats to the Boston Celtics. That was a hell of a performance by them. They are advancing to the second round of the NBA playoffs. So, now that all the pleasantries are out of the way, let's talk about Brooklyn, shall we? What a disgraceful season. What an absolute disgrace. This Brooklyn Nets team was the preseason favorite to win the NBA championship, let alone make the NBA finals. They were the preseason favorite to win the NBA championship. And they couldn't even win one game in the first round? Are you kidding me? That's an absolute disgrace. This Brooklyn Nets season was, without a doubt, a 100% failure. Now, there are a multitude of reasons why this Nets season was a failure. You can look at the James Harden trade. You can look at the injuries. You can look at COVID. You can look at Steve Nash. You can look at Joe Tsai, Sean Marks, etc., etc. Heck, you can even look at Ben Simmons. Speaking of Ben Simmons, what the hell is wrong with him? Look, I understand there's obviously something mentally going on with him. And again, I will always be a huge advocate for, if you or somebody you know is struggling with their mental health, please do not be afraid to seek out to somebody, whether it be a therapist, a family member, a friend, another loved one, whoever it may be. Please do something about it. We care about you and your well-being. Mental health should always be your number one priority. I 100% am on board with that. But besides that, I am not buying that Ben Simmons' back was hurt. I ain't buying it. That man clearly does not want to play basketball anymore. And it showed during practice, where he didn't even shoot the ball one time. He was just dribbling it back and forth. Something is wrong with Ben Simmons. At least this season, he doesn't want to play basketball. Will he play again next year? I have no idea. But I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what he wants. But clearly something's wrong with him, and I really hope whatever it is, he gets it fixed. Because when that man is healthy, he is a hell of a defensive player. He still needs to work on a jump shot, but that man can play defense when he's healthy. So I really, really hope and pray to God that we see Ben Simmons on the court next season. Because I really, really want him to prove me wrong and go out there on the court and at least give me something. Give me something to show me that your ass isn't lazy. But anyway, back to the whole reason why the Nets season was a 100% failure. Every single reason I just said before, a la the James Harden, Ben Simmons trade, COVID, injury, Steve Nash, etc. I'm not looking at all of those things combined. I'm only looking at one particular reason why this Nets season was a failure. And that is Kyrie Irving. Let me explain. Kyrie Irving is a superstar talent, all right? Let me get that out of the way first. He is a terrific offensive player. No question about it. But can we acknowledge the fact that this man is nothing but drama? First of all, he refused to get the COVID vaccine. Now, regardless of where you stand on this, listen, I am of the proponent that you should do whatever that you feel is best for your body. If you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine, go right ahead. If you don't want to get the vaccine, then don't get it. Do what you feel is best for you. That's where I'm at with this whole thing, as of this point. But that whole situation pretty much was not helping the Brooklyn Nets because they needed Kyrie Irving, and he let them down because of that, and the fact that he had to step away from basketball because of everything that was going on in the world at the beginning of the year. and everything that's still going on in the world as of today. You can't distract yourself by going out there and playing basketball and helping your teammates on the road to a championship? Really? Oh, and not to mention the fact that now all of a sudden he thinks that he can manage the Nets and that he thinks he's the head coach outside of Steve Nash. And the fact that he had to say that in a press conference that, I'm kind of mincing words here, but he said something along the lines of, me and Kevin Durant will be managing the team. Are you kidding me? What the hell would you shouldn't even be allowed in that room with Nets management. I mean, look, the dude is just pure drama at this point. He is a hell of an offensive talent. But my God, I mean, can you imagine what that locker room is like with Kyrie Irving around? I wouldn't want that type of behavior in my locker room. I don't want to deal with all that drama and BS when I have a team that has the potential to go out there and win an NBA championship and have that be a distraction from it all. Now, again, like I said before, you can also point to COVID. You can also point to injuries. You can also point to Steve Nash being clearly exposed this season because he clearly is not the right head coach for this team, in my opinion. Again, you can also point to Ben Simmons, which I outlined earlier. But this Brooklyn Nets season falls solely on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry. I like the guy as a player, but as a person, he's got to stop being a distraction and just go out there and help his teammates. Now, I've been hearing this story a lot. I've been hearing rumblings that he might get a max extension. Don't you dare give him a max extension. Don't you dare give him a 5-year deal, $200 million. Don't you dare. But if you do want to keep him around, give him a 1-year deal to prove himself. That's what I would do. However, if he refuses the 1-year deal, then get rid of him. Honestly, one of those two things is your best bet. Either sign him to a 1-year extension, let him prove himself, or trade him. Period. End of sentence. And that's the bottom line. This Brooklyn Nets season was a 100% failure. And Kyrie Irving is at the center of it all. That's going to do it for this episode. Do you agree that Kyrie Irving is the sole person to blame for the Brooklyn Nets' failure of a season? And if you don't, who do you think or what do you think is to blame? Let me know on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at BottomLineWMCX. Be sure to follow us as well, and don't forget to use hashtag BottomLine. Coming up in the next episode, something happened over this past weekend that really made me the angriest I've ever been as a sports fan. I'll explain in the next episode. I'm Jimmy Finizzi. This is the Bottom Line Podcast. I'll catch you next time. Peace and take care.